Hey guys, welcome back. So happens to be one of the most searched things about a Zabbix is how you can actually install it on Ubuntu, distribution, virtual machine, or physical server. Doesn't really matter. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly that. And for that, I have prepared my Ubuntu virtual machine, right? So the first thing that you need to do is obviously go to the zabbix.com and you will need to find the big green button which says Get Zabbix, in which by default you will be prompted to the page of the Zabbix cloud, which is also one of the ways how you can get to use Zabbix for free for 5 days, just to try it out. And then the minimal, the cheapest tier is $50 per month. So if you want to use Zabbix as a SaaS service, you can go with that as well. If you still want to install it on your Ubuntu machine, then you need to click here on Zabbix packages, choose the version that you're looking for, and most likely it is a 7.0 LTS, which is the long-term support. And well, after some time, there's going to be the 7.2 Zabbix, right? But keep in mind that LTS is 7.0. And if you're right now running and trying to install the 7.2, that's fine. All of this is still going to work. So choose the newest version. Then choose the operating system distribution, which in our case is going to be Ubuntu. And for the version, we have 2404 Noble, which is the LTS release. And I know that there are also a lot of questions about 2004. Why there are no Zabbix servers? See, there's just proxy and agent 2. Well, it's pretty simple. That operating system is pretty much old and it doesn't have all the requirements that are required by the Zabbix version 7.0. So no, there's not going to be the Zabbix server for Ubuntu version 2004. It's time to upgrade, guys. Time to use 2404 or at least 2204. So we'll be installing the Zabbix server, front end, and agent, right? Which means that we also can choose what type of database we want to run, and the easiest way will be to go with a MySQL. And web server, again, the easiest way will be with Apache. And when we did all of this selection, which is required for us, we also basically already have all of the commands that we will need to run in this process. So start a new shell session with the root privilege. I'm already logged in as a root, so that's not going to be needed by me. I will move this to side. There you go. Then we need to download repository for the Zabbix. So just copy paste this into your CLI, and as you can see, I'll zoom out a bit. So the Zabbix release latest was added as a repository. Then let's install it. There you go. And then we can run apt update just to make sure that we have like all of the things captured from all the new repositories, which in this case is just the repository of the Zabbix. And this can take a minute to, depends on like the virtual machine speed and also the internet speed. So that is done. Next step is we need to install the actual packages. And with this command, which is again just a simply copy paste, apt install Zabbix server MySQL. So we're installing the Zabbix server package, Zabbix frontend PHP, so Zabbix frontend package, Apache config file, which is required by the Zabbix frontend, SQL scripts, which are required for patches, I think, to the database patches, which actually are optional. Well, we will not need to do anything with them. And Zabbix agent, right? So just copy paste all of that and go here and click yes. This will take again a couple of seconds or minutes to download and install everything. And while we are waiting, I wanted to let you know, like, as you noticed, I have a new chair, which was actually sent to me by these guys. See, you can see Canyon Gaming. And I've also made a review on a second channel, including like the how to get it all together. I will try to link it either in the description or somewhere as a card, and I'll try to show something here. So it's a gaming chair which has all of the usual stuff that you can find in a gaming chair, as like 4D for your armrests, and the backrest can go like in any angles as you might need. And material wise, it is eco leather, so it's pretty much solid quality, and the price is also very much affordable. So I don't know, I'm using it for a week right now and super happy. So go grab the second video, watch it on my second channel, or I will also link in the description the places where you can actually buy it. So right now, when we have everything installed here, that is okay, so packages are installed, then it's time for us to create a database. And to do that, we need to log into the MySQL, but most likely we will not be able to do that. Yeah, we don't have a MySQL server at all. And let me check how to install MySQL server on Ubuntu. Yeah, again, I'm not used to this, so what we need to do is sudo apt install MySQL server. This will again take a second or two. We need to yes confirm that. So MySQL database is required by the Zabbix because that's the place where we actually gonna store all the configuration and all the history data and all of the other stuff. So we must install it. MySQL will log errors to varlog MySQL error.log. That's fine. MySQL D is running. Created a symlink. Reading. This is taking some time. Scanning. No virtual machine gets to running. So we're good with this. And then we need service MySQL start to start the MySQL service. So now we should be able to access MySQL. I've typed, let me exit this. So what I need to type is MySQL, which gets me to the MySQL prompt, and then I need to execute these commands. So first of all, we need to create a database called Zabbix. In this case, you can call whatever you want with a character set UTF-MB4 and collate UTF-MB4 bin, which is a requirement. Then I am creating the user that I'm going to use for my Zabbix server, and I'm calling it Zabbix. It's going to be able to access this database only from a local host, and the password will be Zabbix as well. So that is done. Then I'm granting all the privileges to the Zabbix, to all of the tables inside the Zabbix database, to user Zabbix. So that is done as well. And set global log bin trust function creators. This one is required to actually import all of the schema and data for the Zabbix itself, right? So after that, we can exit. And we're back to the CLI of Ubuntu itself. And then we need to import the schema, data, and images. And all of those three files and three content packages, whatever, are inside the server.sql.jz, which is already present because we installed the SQL scripts, remember? So again, just a copy paste. And here we're piping into MySQL user Zabbix and password. We will need to enter it, and a database name Zabbix. So click enter. Password, remember I did set it as a Zabbix simply. So click enter again, and this will take some seconds of the time. Maybe now, maybe a bit later. This is usually the most longest part, especially if you don't have a powerful virtual machine, because right now it is inserting quite a lot of the stuff into the Zabbix database. So this is done. And right now we have database up and running with all of the required Zabbix schema tables and everything. So what we need to do, you can do this like normally in the production. You would want to disable the log bin trust function creators. So turn it back to the 0. Remember here we did turn them on. So set 1, and now we need to set 0. Then you need to edit your Zabbix server config file, which is located in etc zabbix_server.conf, and we're looking for a couple of parameters. Basically, we need to provide information for the database. So DB host is localhost. In my case, it might be a bit different for you. So I'm running the database on the same server where I have the Zabbix server. So it's localhost. Database name is Zabbix. That's how I created it a couple of minutes ago. DB schema, we don't need it. DB user is Zabbix as well. And DB password, I've also used Zabbix. You might created something else. So type in your password here and write quit to save what you just changed. And now we can actually start all of the required services that we need, which is the Zabbix server, Zabbix agent, and Apache for our front end. So systemctl, restart, Zabbix server, agent, and Apache. I can check the logs of the Zabbix server in the var log Zabbix, Zabbix_server.log. Here I can see that the server was started. And time to access frontend. And to access the frontend, you will just need your IP address. So somehow I completely missed a lot of things with the URL, but I didn't change anything. See, here I have my IP address 134.209.195.25, and I've copy pasted this again /Zabbix, which is super important, and I've got to the configuration wizard of the Zabbix. And then it's just the next step. Everything will be fine and ready here. So next step again, a database type is MySQL because we installed the Zabbix server MySQL. Database host is localhost, so my database is present here. Port is default, database name is Zabbix, store credentials in plain text, that's going to be the most easiest. User is Zabbix, and a password is Zabbix as well. So click next step. And yeah, whatever, I don't want to change it right now. Zabbix server name, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and check also the link in the description. I do have a Patreon page as well, which has a lot of free stuff and some extra perks for supporters as well. So you're welcome, guys, to check it out. Default theme blue. Next step. Everything's here. Next step, congratulations, you have successfully installed Zabbix frontend. Finish. The username is admin with a capital A and a password is lowercase Zabbix. There you go. You have your Zabbix server up and running on Ubuntu. Hope this was helpful. Stay for some more videos of the Zabbix and see you later. Bye-bye.